Before AcademyOne, I was basically failing. I was at like 45, 50. Now I'm almost at 90 right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
45 man.
Yeah, dude. I was like barely pass. I was struggling to pass, right? Now it's just great, dude. I mean, it's just what you put in, what you get out. It's simple as that. I walk into school like it's fun, right? Before I used to walk in like I don't know what's gonna happen, right? Like I'm gonna get this mark. You know, now it's all confidence, right? It's just it's all now it's when I go into class and the teacher gives us a worksheet, right? Like I don't have to look at it and go, what is this, right? Now I know what it is. And plus, if you get like 1 or 2 questions right, you got more confidence to work through the whole test, right? I saw my teacher there at summer school, and my grade 10 teacher, right? And then he saw me there. He's like, "You're taking grade 10 again?" I'm like, "No, why would I take grade 10 again? I'm taking grade 11, right?" He's like, "Oh, you're taking grade 11, 6-week course, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm taking grade 11." He's like, "How you doing that?" I'm like, "Yeah, almost 90." He's like, "Almost 90? You're almost 90?" He's like, "Stop kidding me." And I'm like, "Hey, I want to show you my mark." I brought him upstairs, right? And then I showed him my intern my teacher gave me. He's like, "Wow, this is great. What are you doing?" Right? And I'm like, "It's effort, man." I brought my laptop to school one day, right? And he thought I was playing games or watching YouTube or whatever. And he's like, "Okay, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing math, right?" And the whole class started laughing. He's like, "He's doing math on a laptop, right?" And then the teacher's like, "If I come over there and I see you doing math, right?" He's like, "I better see you doing math there, right?" I'm like, "All right, you will." He came over and he came over and he's like, "What's this, right?" And I'm like, "It's AcademyOne." I told him all about it, right? And he's like, "Oh, this looks great. You got anything else on here?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's about the whole curriculum you guys are teaching us, right?" And then he's like, "That's awesome, right?" That's what he said. And then he's like, "Can you show me more? Can you show me like we were doing graphing at the time, so he's like, "Can you show me our next chapter, radicals?" And then I'm like, "All right." I opened it up, and he's like, "Wow, this is great." And then he's like, "Class, have a look at this." And we put it up on the projector, and we're doing questions off. Well, I always looked at math as like kind of a scary thing, right? Yeah. Like I'd skip class because I didn't want to do a test or because I knew I'd be bad at it, right? Now it's just that now I'm not scared of math anymore, right? I come in and I'm just like, all right, let's bring it on, you know what I'm saying, right? It's just like it's the go-to attitude, right? And before I was scared of math. Now like it's especially word problems, like like even if it was like a simple word problem, I'd like think it over like 10 times, but it just wouldn't click, right? And it's starting to click now. It's just basically effort, man, straight up. It's really helpful in English too because you can type like if you have an essay or speech, whatever, right? You can type it up and you can send it to email to them, and then they'll correct it or give you some advice and you get it back. It's pretty good.
गुड साडा बच्चा इंप्रूव कर रहा है तो सानू असीं लाइक करदे बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम है
Before AcademyOne, like a year ago, like they like teachers came in, like counselors and stuff. They told us about career options, about university and stuff, and I was basically lost, right? I didn't know if I wanted what I wanted to do. Now I know I want to go to university, right? I know that. Before I was like, I don't know, university, yes, maybe, you know. Dad's like, you got 3 options: a lawnmower, a gas pump worker, 7-Eleven, or what was that? The roofer, yeah, the roofer, or plumbing, right? And now I told him, I'm like, now I got more options, Dad. He's like, yeah, that's good. You, man. This guy came over to our house, man. He sat down. He came over at like around 6, right? And he left at I would say around 11:05. He came at 5 or 6, right? And he left at 11:30. And then he gave us the most wonderful speech I've ever heard, man. It's life-changing, straight up. You went to my friend's house that day, right?
Yeah.
I phoned him up, like, what'd he say, right? And he's like, "Oh man, you just changed my life, right?" And he's like, "I feel embarrassed right now." And he's like, "I feel embarrassed, right?" And then it's just amazing. Optimistic, yeah.